Working on the go with a laptop or tablet typically means carrying power chargers, battery banks, and hubs to make sure that our devices remain powered and are able to connect to the many accessories we need for our work. In recent months, we've started to see the convergence between these different types of accessory. Recently, I reviewed the Zendure Mix Go, a hybrid battery pack and wall charger that reduces 2 accessories, a charger and a battery, down to 1. For the last month or so, I've been testing something that I think is even more interesting, the Zendure SuperHub. The SuperHub is a charger and a hub in one package. As a charger, it allows you to charge 3 USB devices, 2 with USB-C connectors and the third with a USB-A connector. As a hub, it provides 4K at 60Hz through HDMI and 2 5 gigabit per second USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports, one with a USB-A connector and one with a USB-C connector. This set of ports provides a lot of options for working on the go, so let's take a deeper look at how the SuperHub works. Before we do that though, let me just say my unit is a pre-production unit, so some of the details may be subject to change in the final release. I'm shooting this video in the run-up to Zendure launching their Kickstarter campaign. By the time this video goes live, that campaign will be live, and I'll put links in the description below so you can get in early if you want to pick up a unit of your own. Zendure did send me this pre-production unit for free, but they didn't pay me for this video, nor do they have any editorial control over what I'm going to say. In the box, I got the unit itself, a 1.5 meter power cord, and a USB-C 3.1 Gen 1 cable. The unit is crazy small at 83mm long, 58mm wide, and just 30mm deep. That's 3.3 inches by 2.3 inches by 1.2 inches. Coupled with the small size, the thing weighs only 140 grams or just a little under 5 ounces. I've been carrying this as my main charger for my MacBook Pro and Surface Pro 7 for over a month, and it's small and light enough to have minimal impact on my kit bag. So let's talk a bit more about the power situation. Because this is a charger and a hub, the power output differs depending on whether you're running connected to a wall socket, so in charger mode, or whether you're powering directly from your laptop or tablet, so in hub mode. In charger mode, the hub is powered using a standard 2-pin power cable. As we saw already in the box, you get a 1.5 meter one, which is great for using this as a travel charger. I've used this for a few overnight stays now, and having a longer cable makes this great for charging in a hotel where the power sockets are often not in the best location. Maybe you can't charge your phone next to your bed, for example. Because this is a standard 2-prong input, I also picked up this really short lead so I can use this more easily on the train or the plane or wherever. This small lead goes into my backpack, and then the long lead just goes into my suitcase. When running in charger mode, you get 30 watts of USB PD on port 1 here, 18 watts PD on port 2 here, and then on the USB-A port, you get a max of 5 volts at 1.5 amps, so 7.5 watts. This is enough power for a smaller laptop like the MacBook Pro 13-inch on port 1, a tablet like the iPad Pro on port 2, and a cell phone on the USB-A port. And yes, you can deliver power through all 3 ports at the same time, limited to a maximum of 48 watts, which is plenty to charge the devices overnight on a trip, say, but isn't really enough for 3 devices that are under heavy usage at the same time. In hub mode, the hub is powered from the device connected to the USB-C port 1, and the only power delivered out is on the USB-A port at a maximum of 4.5 watts. Still more than enough to power something like an external hard drive or your cell phone. For data connectivity, USB-C port 1 and the USB-A port deliver 5 gigabits per second throughput. USB-C port 2 is a power-only port and doesn't deliver any data at all. So what does this mean in practice? Well, I tested a whole host of different external storage options, both with and without the wall socket power, and data rates were totally in line with what I see when connected directly to a USB-C port on my MacBook. The USB-A port is USB 3.1 Gen 1, so perfectly happy connecting to a device that requires a USB-C connector using a USB-A to USB-C cable. In fact, that's exactly the setup I used to test my external drives. Regular viewers of the channel may be wondering about whether this setup works with the iPad Pro and Raspberry Pi, and the answer is yes, but I only got it working with Pi 4s that are revision 1.2, and only reliably when the SuperHub is powered from a wall socket. I will put a link to the USB-A to USB-C cable I used for this in the description below. Now onto the HDMI port. On the 2018 iPad Pro, the 2017 or later 15-inch MacBook Pro, and on the 16-inch MacBook Pro, this hub delivers 4K 60. Older MacBooks and other laptops and tablets like the Surface Pro 7 can get 1080p at 60Hz or 4K at 30Hz. I didn't have all of these devices to hand to test, but I did verify 4K at 60Hz on the 16-inch MacBook Pro and on the iPad Pro. I did verify 4K 30 on the 2015 MacBook Pro 13-inch and on Surface Pro 7. The 4K 60 on the iPad Pro is a major selling point of this hub for me, and I imagine will be for many other users too. You don't now need to carry a separate 60Hz HDMI adapter and then a USB data hub as well. You can just use one device. I would be remiss if I didn't point out one or two of the downsides with this setup. So as cool as the light on the front here is, it's slightly annoying if you're using this as a travel hub, since it's not really conducive to a good night's sleep. Thankfully, a bit of electrical tape solves that problem without any worries. The biggest downside though is the lack of SD card slots. If this had SD card slots, it would be a truly incredible package, and hopefully we'll see that in a future revision. For now though, I've paired it with this tiny USB-A SD card reader, which keeps the overall kit size down and gives me more than adequate SD card speeds. Let me just finish by saying that I'm very impressed with the build quality of this unit, which, as I said, is just the pre-production unit. If the production units are this good, I'd be happy. And if they end up being better, well then that's just a bonus. If you're looking for a way to consolidate your accessories into a smaller package, then I don't think you'll regret picking up one of these super hubs during the Kickstarter. If you're watching after the Kickstarter campaign has ended, then I'll put a link below for Amazon where you can buy this hub if you want to. So I hope you found this video useful. If so, please hit like, please hit subscribe, and don't just hit subscribe, but hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any future content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.